What's up? Welcome back to Audi DIY. I thought since I just posted a video, it'd be nice to kind of just explain like what I'm doing with this channel and show you guys my cars and like what my plan is and tell you a little bit about how I got them. So we're gonna run through that really quick. I'll give you guys a peek at what they're like. So basically, I have this 99 premium facelift A4. It's pretty beat up, but 155,000 miles. It's pretty old. It is an AEB engine code, which I can't seem to find too much information on. The hood's totally fucked. Almost looks like galvanized or something though. Two-piece headlights. Bumper is another indicator. This pre-facelift. When I got it, this was swapped with a facelift B5, I imagine. Like B6 style with way different trim right here and a different fog light. Basically though, what I want to do with this is just big turbo, probably. I don't know. Maybe some nice exhaust. I'm using it as my daily right now, so I mean I don't want to get too crazy with it, but like a pretty quick daily would be fun to autocross here. Idaho has no emissions, so like as far as exhaust and all that goes, pretty much free game. Oh, before we go to the other one, I got this Beamer back here. It's the 83 E21 320 IS, I think. I got that for the same price that I bought this next car for, and now eventually I want to make that a drift car. That's super feature if I have a lot of money. But I got this bad boy, bad girl, for $250. So one of my homies, this girl I'm friends with, ended up buying it for a pretty steep amount, and drove it like crazy. I mean, it kind of jacked up the suspension. I had to change the controller, had to change tie rod, all that shit down in there. It doesn't have airlifting. It's all Bilstein suspension. She took it to a mechanic that was not an Audi mechanic, mind you. And he ran some tests, totally did compression tests, checked the engine and all that, and he said that the engine was toast, blown head gaskets and shit, and so I was like, alright, like what do you want for it? So $250. I was like, word. Like, that's a pretty good deal. The body's in good enough shape that if I happen to sell like one part to someone who needed it, I'd probably make more money or close to enough money to pay for what I paid for the car. And then I started looking at Allroad videos, and of course I saw that crazy freaking video of the African descent guy in the United Kingdom just shooting flames out the back of Allroad that sounded all crazy. It does have a 2.7 liter, so basically like any parts that I could have got from that would have been worth it to me, so I decided to buy it. I guess I'll pop the hood for you real quick. Anyways, after I bought it under the that it didn't start at all or run. Upon asking her again, I figured out that it did run, but she said there was white smoke coming out of the hood. It kind of freaked me out. But I bought it, got it started, and drove it just fine to an Audi mechanic here in Idaho. And basically get it checked out. He said that there's some EGT shit that was going bad and throwing cuts, so he just took it out of there. It's got like a brand new timing belt. Holds coolant. It cools. No blown head gasket. For sure. After driving for a while and looking on forums, I figured out that, and as far as, this is like what he told me on paper too, the mechanic, but basically there's oil leaking from the valve cover gaskets and cam chain tensioner gaskets and dripping onto the exhaust, and it was burning up right there, making it smell like oil in the cab. And I mean, smoking obviously is burning oil all up out through here. It's in pretty good shape for a $250 2.7 liter bi-turbo. It runs pretty good. It gets boost. The turbos are good. It's a little dirty under here. Definitely needs some new hoses. I think he replaced the vacuum lines, but I'm not sure before I decided to start working on it. But in any case, I mean, that seems like a relatively straightforward job in these cars. And got the B5 as a daily. I just felt like it'd be really sweet to work on and build up because of good shape. Pretty well taken care of under here, aside from the few issues it has. This is also stripped just like the other one. But I don't know, I've seen some pretty crazy 2.7 bi-turbo project cars on the internet, and it kind of inspired me to want to buy this in the first place. And if I could swap it into that, that'd be super sick. If that's not a possibility, I mean, the wagon's super sick too. Everyone loves an Avant. Broke my oil dipstick plastic piece on it, stuck in this oil dipstick tube, down tube thing. So that sucks. Another loose headlight. It's probably a thing. Battery voltage says too low. Intermittent. Spark plug's probably never been changed. Brakes are pretty whack, actually. Makes it shake pretty hard while you're braking, especially if you're going what you want to do sometimes. But the other day, I was driving home from work and I was on this kind of highway. It was like 65. I went into boost, and all of a sudden this huge cloud of freaking white smoke just came out of the exhaust. Covered like 4 lanes of road. It was super sketchy. I was still getting boost though. No weird engine noises, nothing like that. Just a huge cloud of white smoke. So I was like, oh shoot, I better pull over. And by the time I got to where I was gonna pull over, all of a sudden, it just stopped smoking, and I drove it probably like 15 miles back to my house, and not a single puff of smoke, no smoke at all, not even like leaking onto the exhaust, which was kind of weird for this car. And talked to some dude about it, kind of close to me, with a rear-wheel drive B5. He told me he thinks it's the injectors or something with the fuel, but I have no idea what could cause that, and sketch me out. So if any of you guys have experienced anything like that, 2.7, it'd be really awesome to get your feedback. But I don't know. that's pretty much it. Hopefully, if I get some more money, I can start to do some big things. Until then, I'll just show you guys how to fix it.